If you've ever said to yourself, I just need to be more consistent, and then watch yourself fall off again a few days later, this will help you. Because most people think consistency is about discipline or motivation or just trying harder. But if that were true, you'd have fixed it by now. So the real question is, why does it feel so hard to stay consistent even when you actually care about the thing you're trying to do? Here's what I see all the time. You start something with good intent. You've got a plan, you've got a bit of energy behind it, and for a few days it works. Then something shifts, you miss a day, or it feels harder than you expected, or your energy drops, and suddenly it's not just about the task anymore. Now there's friction, and that friction builds really quickly. And this is the bit most advice completely misses. Consistency doesn't break because you lose motivation. It breaks because the task stops feeling safe to engage with. Let me make that practical. So when something feels too big, too important, too unclear, or like it has consequences attached to it, your brain doesn't see a simple action. It sees risk. And when your brain sees risk, it hesitates. So what looks like inconsistency is actually your system pulling away from something that feels too heavy. This is why you can sit down to do something you want to do and still not start, or start and then drift off, or avoid coming back to it the next day. It's not that you've suddenly become inconsistent, it's that the conditions have changed. And this is where most people go wrong. They notice the drop-off and they try to fix it with more pressure. I just need to be stricter. I need to push through. I need to be more disciplined. But that makes the task feel even less safe, so your brain resists more and the cycle continues. So instead of trying to force consistency, you need to change the conditions that make consistency possible. This is where the momentum reset method comes in, not as a concept, but as something you can actually do. So step 1, shrink the entry point. If a task feels difficult, it's too big for your current state. So instead of, I'm going to do a full session, make it, I'm going to do 3 minutes, or I'm going to change one thing, or I'm going to open the document. You're not trying to complete it. You're trying to make it startable. So step 1, shrink the entry point. If a task feels heavy, it's too big for your current state. So instead of, I'm going to do a full session, make it, I'm going to do 3 minutes, or I'm going to change one thing, or I'm going to open the document. You're not trying to complete it. You're trying to make it startable. Step 2, remove the meaning. A lot of resistance isn't about the task. It's about what the task represents. This has to be good. This matters too much. I can't mess this up. That's what creates pressure. So you deliberately strip that away. You treat the action as neutral, just doing, not proving. Step 3, close the loop cleanly. So instead of stopping when you're exhausted, stop when it feels manageable. That way your brain doesn't associate the task with depletion. It associates it with something it can return to. And if you're listening to this thinking, yeah, this is exactly what happens to me, this is the exact pattern I built the momentum reset method to solve, it gives you a simple structure to lower the pressure, make things startable, and actually rebuild momentum step by step. I've linked it below if you want to go deeper into it. But there's one more piece that matters, because even if you get the starting right, most people still struggle with returning. Consistency is not doing something every day perfectly. Rather, it's being able to come back without feeling like you failed. If restarting feels harder than starting, watch this video up here next in the pop-out banner. It's also linked in the description. It explains exactly why that happens. So here's how you make returning easier. Don't track streaks, track returns. You didn't break anything, you just paused. Make the restart smaller than the original start. If you did 20 minutes before, come back with 2. Lower the barrier again. Expect the drop. This is big. Instead of being surprised when consistency dips, expect it. Plan for it. That alone removes a huge amount of friction. So when you say, I can't stay consistent, what's actually happening is you're trying to repeat an action without recreating the conditions that made it possible. Consistency isn't something you force. It's something that shows up when the task feels safe enough to return to. If this clicked for you, watch this next, why you can be motivated and still procrastinate. And if you want to go deeper into this whole idea, I'd recommend the playlist, Why You Procrastinate Even When You Care. And if you want a structured way to actually apply this, the momentum reset method is linked below, because once you stop trying to force consistency and start making things easier to return to, everything changes.